Good morning. It's me, Angie from Learn Love Tarot, here to bring you messages of guidance using the energies of the daily moon cycle to help you align with your best and highest good. These messages are timeless because energy is cyclical, so trust that you found it right at the right moment. I'd like to thank you for sharing your energy with me. So, if you'd like to stay connected and receive more messages specific to your story, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if today's message resonates with you, let me know by tapping that like button or sharing in the comments. I do appreciate that so much. It's like the water for the beautiful flowers of my channel growing. So thank you in advance. To learn more about me or book a personal reading, you can visit my homepage. So welcome into the day. I believe this is the first time that instead of just posting my notes, I'm sharing them with you because I was woken up at 6:36 this morning with a very odd song. It's called Camptown Races. And the only thing that I could think of was my grandfather because he liked to go watch the ponies. So I found out that it was a 19th century American folk tale written in February of 1850. And what I felt when I was waking up was that somebody winning or coming into money. Um, and oddly enough, or not oddly enough, the lyrics were written by Stephen Foster. And I texted my mom this morning and said, isn't Foster in our family name? And here I was correct. It was my grandfather's middle name. So the 1850 energy adds up to a 14, which is our energy of temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. And in addition to that, Sagittarius is depicted a lot of times you'll see in cards. You will see a horse there in the energy. So the horses are back, as well as the love boat theme. In addition to today's date being March 18th, 2025, that adds up to a 30. 30 years ago was 1995. So let me know if that year resonates with you, as well as 30 being the energy of the Empress. Okay, we talked about that yesterday on my weekly What's Happening in the Cosmos. And then, in addition, the sister energy to that is the Hanged Man energy of Pisces for this month. So let's see where we go with this. I also wrote down Pauper to Prince, Rags to Riches. And then I kind of went down my Angie rabbit hole and I was like, well, what is a bobtail nag? And that is a horse with its tail docked. And I just wrote, I mean, that's just gross. Please do not do that to any animal. But apparently it was a way for the British cavalry to tell the difference between the soldiers, between the French. The bay, somebody bet on the bay, is a brown horse with a black mane and tail. And a bobtail nag is apparently also a type of Manhattan, which I didn't know because I love me my Manhattans. Um, I wrote down Betting on the Ponies, Victory of the Underdog, because that song is about he came into town with his hat caved in and left with his pocket full of tin. Okay. So he bet on the old horse that nobody else was betting on and won big. So I also wrote down that an old dog does learn the new trick, and making sure that we're not doing anything unnecessary, removal of the bone and muscle. Poor animal. For me, that was something nonsensical, unnecessary. There was some kind of perhaps unnecessary removal in the energy. So we'll see where that theme of surrender goes today. And I think I already said the love boat theme was back. So that was what was coming in this morning. So welcome to my channeled messages. Now, with the energy of the sun in Pisces today, we are at that place where We're coming into the last couple degrees of the lesson of Pisces. And this last part of the theme is a realization of faith and understanding that we are all part of one collective consciousness. We still do have Scorpio, the powerhouse. That's where the moon is today. And that's at the part of the moon, as I described in my reading last night, where we're on the down cycle and throw our hands up and say, we on the down part of that roller coaster. The moon is disseminating. So that means we just take a beat, take a pause, relax, breathe. So we're going to see where we go today. This is when we also regroup. Okay, we accept kind of anything that we have seen in the light of that full moon. At the top of the coaster, we see the park in its entirety. We see what needs repaired. We see maybe where we can create a better traffic flow as well. And we share this learning with others. We did have a couple other changes in the cosmos today. I'll be posting those after this reading. Jupiter in the sign of Gemini has clicked over to its next lesson, which is two Dutch children talking. So 6 of Cups vibes. And that is an energy of confirming and validating who we are. In addition, I talked last night about Black Moon Lilith clicking over to her very last Sabian lesson. We are in the testing arena. So wherever the end of that purple energy is for you, if I've created a birth chart for you, wherever the end of that purple energy is for Libra is where this lesson of Black Moon Lilith is finishing up. And that's all about decisions, our desires, our hidden desires. Black Moon Lilith is the table flipper. She's the rebel. So look at that chart and see where it is that you might be rebelling, making a new decision, and acting on your desires. All right. Let's see where we go today. Simply, what messages does Spirit have for us today? Tell me about the victory of this underdog, old dog that does learn the new tricks, a pauper to prince energy, crossed by. Wow, we just had the full moon. And that is about surrender. We're at the top of the coaster. We throw our hands up and say, this is the ride that we are going to get. In addition, here with these 2 circles, of course, being a former teacher, that is a Venn diagram where we take one subject, topic, you name it, and a second topic, and we figure out, well, what is unique to each of those people or each of those topics or perspectives, perhaps. If an old dog does learn a new trick, they could be learning how to compromise and focus more on the gratitude of what there is in common here. So surrendering to the journey is literally Empress energy. This is an energy of surrender. Her heart chakra is completely open. And this is about spiritual enlightenment. And again, the end of the Pisces sun journey is the realization of faith. Wow. Okay. Well, that's look at these 2 cards. That's wild. There's the root chakra there underneath that as well. Even though today is a solar plexus day, the 3rd chakra, where we allow our 3rd chakra to guide us towards our joys. And that in turn brings some kind of transformation here with this moth energy, like a moth to a flame. We are being pulled to become whatever we idealize. Wow, that's pretty spot on. It doesn't get much better than that. Okay, I say that before. Look, there's that full moon here as well. Good morning, Miss Peggy. Thank you so much. Are you seeing this, Shiz? Oh my Lanta. Okay. Let's check out what we got here. Yep, there's that Chiron energy with that eye, awakened awareness. This is the energy of 17 of the star. That's a wishes granted. So, again, becoming whatever we idealize. We're going to hit that lesson tomorrow before we are changing over Thursday into our spring equinox, our rebirth, where we set intentions as the sun moves into Aries. Wow, I just can't get over that energy. Okay. We'll see where we go. Let's see what's happening today. So this is literally spiritual enlightenment. This what this card's energy is about. And anytime I've been getting noticing eyeballs on cards, and I'm attributing that to the healing of Chiron. Chiron is currently at 21 degrees, 31 minutes, if that number resonates for anyone, in Aries. And that is healing old wounds. And we see these white lilies of peace here. And it's about growth, making amends, having forgiveness, which is exactly what we do at a full moon. We do our Ho'oponopono prayers of release and surrender. Wow, just spot on. It's that whenever that energy is in, whenever the moon is in Scorpio for me, it's like superpowers are on point. So the Sabian lesson of that Chiron, the healer, is about taking on optimism, synergy, sharing, and abundance as life principles, holding gratitude so that we can light up that third eye, fill our own heart's cup, and then we are able, easier able to hear messages from spirit. So I feel like that was grandfather coming through today. Okay. Wow. Guys, gosh, I can't, I'm kind of, it takes a lot to surprise me these days, but woo doggy. Oh, wow. And just as Miss Peggy says, old wounds coming up, glad to get it out and cleared. Here we go. This is a card of healing. It's the Four Swords. And look at all the white animals that are surrounding her, which is what I was just talking about here with the white lilies of peace. And it is about also generational trauma, healing that and bringing in some superpowers for us, which I just got done saying. I've never noticed that word on the card there with the superpowers. But the gate to the garden of desire and 22. My grandpa was born in 1922, guys. That's crazy. Whoa. All righty then. So clearly, this is a message of healing for us, awakened awareness. And what are we healing? Oh my gosh. So the devil is literally patterns, it's any kind of addictions, it is wanting and grabbing for that extra thing, right? At the races, oh, I'm going to bet on the sure thing, or I can just pick up one more of these bright golden saucers, and that last one that she picked up got her caught in the cage. So this could even be trappings of cultural trappings, religious trappings. It's basically the prison of our own mind, the societal bars. I've talked about Paul Laurence Dunbar before, and that is a poem that he wrote that I used to do an analysis, a comparative analysis. Yeah, healing here, a comparative analysis with my Angelos. Wow. Okay, and that was about I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Paul Lawrence Dunbar. If you've never had the chance to, or opportunity, or pleasure to read that, that's for somebody today. Okay, this is opening up the garden gate of desire, ultimate happiness, being able to release and let go of ancestral ties, patterns of our own karma, especially with the full moon in Virgo being so close to the South Node, which is in Virgo right now. And that is about honing our will to exceptional levels. And the South Node is about not letting our past hold us back, and especially patterns, releasing and letting go of those to have some kind of new start, especially patterns of pain. There's nothing to be done here except transmute the pain into wisdom. And that is exactly what she is doing here, surrounded by all these white animals, again, of peace, lilies. And wow, okay. Empress coming through strong. And this is an eclipse here, guys. We do have the eclipse in Aries coming up on the 29th, I believe. Yep, at 6:57 a.m. So there's some communication here. The palm trees that are swaying, I've noted before, are about being able to go with the flow, whereas a mighty oak can root itself in, and yes, it's strong and mighty, but any kind of stubbornness, like that tree that's going to say, I'm not bending, but what happens in a storm is those trees break because they are not able to move and sway and bend with the wind. So Four of Cups here, dissatisfaction of the heart. But what we don't see is that this is an offer here. Love is on offer here. And I feel like it's coming up after these wounds are cleared here. So Devil, Three of Swords, the Empress. So we've got a 33 here. Four of Cups will be bookending the Four of Swords, 44s. And this is about understanding that, even truth can cut both ways. The Five of Swords is little kids shouldn't be playing with knives, right? And more past energy here. If we play stupid games, we get stupid prizes. And this is kind of an energy of it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. Okay, like I told you so. And again, more child energy here, which is what I was talking about with Jupiter today, moving into the next Sabian lesson. And I have right here Six of Cup vibes. So the confirmation and validation of who we are. And there's dice here. So rolling the dice, victory of the underdog, betting on the pony. So on, somebody that we might have lost hope for, or somebody that we did not expect to rise to power, perhaps, so quickly. If somebody underestimated you, they got another thing coming. Here comes that balanced energy. Look at these beautiful color matches here. I love that, guys. And there's that spiritual enlightenment again. Archangel Gabriel, this always reminds me of the trumpet or horns, right? Mount Shasta, a very vibrationally high energetic location. A lot of people venture there for a spiritual journey. You're able to receive your messages in an easier way. So, guys, we got balance coming in here. Could be love, abundance, or today. I'm going to put these back in order because I want to pull right off from the top. Okay, scooch these guys up and along. What are we surrendering to here? Our awakened awareness. Some people's higher selves might be coming online as they come to the realization of this universal consciousness. So this is you all here, and before I set this down, I was also noting the rainbow here and all the rainbow colors of this Ferris wheel, kind of a luck changing here, changing of the tide. Okay. Wow, this is definitely some past life connection, past life energy, familial ties, and this is the most learned of the pages having received this gift here. Time, energy, money, resources, assets, wealth, um, talents. The situation is about aligning the head and heart, diplomacy, again, balance. On a 4, we have 2 even on both sides. And the King of Cups is a very fair and just king. He's very patient, and he tolerates very well. Again, he's the ultimate diplomat. So, whatever situation that you are looking at right now, Scorpio energy here, the situation is either calling for diplomacy or has reached a point of balance, and you are reaping the reward here for doing the work of this 180, of this turn of events. The opportunity here, so the 9 of wands, I'm chuckling because they just keep coming. It just keeps confirming what we're saying here. So the opportunity of the 9 of wands, you might think at first, well, that doesn't sound very fun. That can be exhaustion. This is an energy that does this job 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So obviously that would be exhausting, but what it also means is that whatever you've been putting steady work toward, and you've been doing that diligently, this is about the reversal here, the turn of events, the turn of fortune. Wow. Okay. So 9 of wands and its shadow can be about repeating the same cycles over and over, or actions, but expecting a different result. This is the mutable energy of Sagittarius. So the horses. Okay. This is ending those ancestral patterns, guys. And in the recent past, there was a trine of energy that was started. This is community energy. It can also be the start of a creative project or building a foundation towards something new, securing from an energy of 2, where we would get a wobble, adding that third element or that third leg to a stool, for example, stabilizes the energy. Let's see what the heart of the reading is all about. Yeah, death and rebirth. I can't make it up. Ending these ancestral patterns, karmic ties, past life, release of the burden. We are no longer repeating these patterns of humans that are destructive. Okay. Wow. And moving into the near future, there's Emperor energy. So we are moving Sun in Aries. Like I said, on Thursday, that's our spring equinox energy right there. And we've got double Scorpio energy here in the center. So that for me is a lot about passion. It can be about secrets, but it is about diving deep into the depths, farther than we've ever gone before. And what is in the block position here, remember that no matter if a card is upside down in a reading, or if it comes up in the position of a block, the energy is here and available. It's just ready to be righted. So that is the frequency of that wish coming to fruition. Okay, again, luck is doing its 180 here for you, for whoever this is for. So an old dog does learn the new trick, and it's the victory of the underdog. Wherever you feel you've been underestimated, okay, you're about to have a turn of luck here. It's beautiful energy. Further confirmation of that Six of Cups vibration here with that Nautilus energy. This is meant for you. This has been coming all along. We just had to balance our energy. We just had to release and let go of these old patternings so that we could turn into the butterfly energy from the chrysalis. We did have two butterflies show up on the charms yesterday. I believe definitely one was for fire, and I think the other one was for air. I'll go through the charm cast of this morning. And what Spirit wants you to know, there's the familial ties, the 10 of Pentacles. So the root chakra, the root of connectedness, the roots that tie us to everything in our lives. The Ten of Pentacles is all of the minor arcana added up together. It's the culmination. This is a culmination energy. And for me, Spirit's confirmation. Oh, guys, this is big energy. Here's your new start. Also, Aries energy, 0 starts the zodiacal wheel. The new start energy of spring equinox, literally right here. This is not far away, guys. Moon energy, major arcana here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10 cards. This is a big deal. So here is the healing energy of that full moon of release that we just had, the revelation, seeing the park for its whole view and not just little pieces of it. We're seeing the whole thing coming into an energy of groundedness and of connecting back to our roots and releasing any patterns that were tied to us down the family line. Okay, and another message of healing here. This is the full moon siren. And as she sings her song, her voice sends out notes of healing, the love boat in the ocean. And we all in that show is all about it's about love, right? The love boat. It's about healing relationships. And they surrender to the lesson by the end of the show. They learned what they were supposed to learn and stepped into their Empress and Emperor energy. So again, a real big deal. This could be shocking to you. There's that root, the foundation. We are recreating the life we desire. Now, further, I went ahead and looked up 636 angel number because that's the time I got woken up with that crazy song, and it's called assets. You can't take material things with you. Shift your focus from making money to deciding what you can do for others once you have it. When you have more, you help others more. What wonderful things can you do with abundance? Make a small donation to an organization you hold dear, perhaps even in the amount of this angel number. Pretty incredible. Hey, Sash, this reading is off the hook, you guys. I can't even. All the synchronicities are just nutty. Now, on my grandpa's birthday, I wanted to look that up and see what that was all about. Again, he was born in 1922. We had that 22 energy of Chiron the healer. And what I was noticing the most, not only do we have this new moon, okay, in Leo, this fire, this sun, the solar plexus energy of today, this is long-term building, facilitates long-term bounty. I, I, I'm hardly ever one to be lost for words. Y'all know that. You've met me. But this is pretty incredible. This is pretty incredible indeed. More Scorpio energy here, creating a new life from the ground up releasing patterns, releasing old ways of being, no longer breaking our backs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not having anything to show for it. So, walking there with your hat caved in, and on the way home, pocket full of tin. Wow. I feel like I'm a little afraid to keep pulling, but okay, here we go. And there is the major arcana of the two Dutch children talking, the Six of Cups vibes from that Jupiter of expansion energy, shifting lessons. Now we have a divine pair on the board. That is the energy of the lovers in my Houston deck. The King and Queen of Cups are the lover's energy. This is the king showing the cards underneath his vest, and the Queen of Cups sharing her esoteric knowledge of, I know when I fill my own cup, that is when the pearls of wisdom ignite. So if you are just awakening or understanding for the first time that you are on a spiritual journey, we all are. Not everybody recognizes that each lifetime. And with the North Node in Pisces, this is like record numbers of awakening, especially for the divine masculine, because that's what the situation is here. So, again, filling our own heart's cup, taking care of ourselves first, putting the oxygen mask of energy on our own self so that we can help others, like the 636 angel number suggests. So focusing on, yes, we can attract abundance and manifest that, but if we're focusing on what we're going to do with that money, and it involves that abundance that helps others in a way that ripples out and has a generational effect, wow. This is the complete transformation, the butterfly of transformation here. This is a good surprise, guys. Speaking of surprises, hey, Miss Larissa, thanks for coming in here. And what this full moon energy, what this full moon siren, what her song is healing is this stubborn energy that I was talking about. I mean, Scorpio and Leo, that I just looked up that new moon in Leo in July, are fixed signs. It's stubborn energy, as well as we got here the trifecta of the stubbornness with Aquarius, the fixed energies there. Wow. This is something. So we're healing an old truth or an old way that we, buried our sword of truth, and we're sticking to that. We're gonna do this hard work. It doesn't matter if it's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter if it's kill me. That's what you should do. No, we're healing those dreaded shoulds and coming back to ourselves by releasing and letting go of old ways. It's just not the world anymore, because when we focus on the cups, when we focus on our own inner balance, filling our own heart's cup, what is the truth of that healing? What's that going to take? The pentacles fall from the sky. Focusing on the cups brings the pentacles. Focusing on the cups brings the pentacles. I'm speechless, guys. That's not often the case. Now that in and of itself should tell you what a big reading this is. I'm kind of gobsmacked here. So let's look at the charms before we get our advice. So I asked what we need to pay attention to today. And here's the snake energy of shedding the skin. And we see that, often depicted on the Scorpio card, as well as the butterfly energy. This is leaving an old skin behind. And there's that energy of the snake, and that came up on the Virgo energy, which I'm talking about the full moon karmic release attached to the South Node. At first, I thought this was an elephant, but it is a stingray. And I have looked up the spiritual significance of that before. I'll probably include it in my community post today for you. I was delighted that the cardinal came out here on the water energy, again, with being woken up with that odd song. The first person, I'm like, that's the only person I can think of is my grandfather. And I was right. And here is the energy of there's your starfish, Liz. Look at that with the renewal on this water energy coming into balance. Again, filling our own heart's cup. We have two energies of Cancer, Aquarius, Capricorn energy, lots of Scorpio, Aries, just to shout out some of the mages. On the fire energy, we have the High Priestess here, this fancy kitty cat with a bow around her neck. She was aimed at a southwest position. So maybe fire energies, you're coming to this realization as well, this realization of faith. Little cross there. Masculine or very thick rimmed glasses here on that fire energy. As well for air, we have this is what I thought, more stubborn energy here because we had a pig and a bull. So I feel like leaving the patterns of stubbornness, and it's about surrender, letting go of the old ways. Very, very literal there in that literal sense. And here's the B of community, that is found in the Mercury energy. B's are communication. Okay. It's about hive mentality coming together for the collective good. Thoughts, communications. We are in retrograde right now with Mercury and Venus. This is called a crystal gazer. Okay. She understands how to tap into her intuition, becoming able to open up to have a more subtle visionary concentration of intention. And then the love energy with the love boat, a square, which is about learning lessons through struggle. It's as if there are one person either side, right, of the energy, and they're both pushing toward the center. So when you hear astrologers talk about squares, that means that the two planets are 90 degrees away from each other, or 3 houses away in your birth chart, and that is a challenging energy. So developing a particular drive and focus motivated by desire. And as we get to the end of the Aries lesson, the garden gate of desire is opened and healed in that's where Chiron is right now. I mean, I can't even with this, guys. Okay, well, very exciting. Very, very exciting. I feel like that's a very straightforward read, but I will get a card of advice here for us from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Thank you guys for hopping in with me today. I was going to record really early this morning, and I was like, you know what? I if I'm going to post this at 9:30, why don't I just record at 9:30 anyway? There's the energy of the magician. There's our 8 of Leo energy. We just pulled this card the other night, all 4 aces of potential. This is all about being curious. And look at all those trees in the background, about being curious about doing things another way. What if there's another way? This came out the day that I was getting I think it was like the 3rd day I was getting the Kashmir song from Led Zeppelin, and that's about a spiritual journey. So here this card is again, this enlightenment energy. And check that out. How you like that now? The 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, fortune changing in your favor. Victory of the underdog. An old dog does learn the new trick. Confidence in your magic. I just was saying this is a magician energy, all four aces of potential. I think you're going to be quite surprised here, how these small changes of putting yourself first, like we've been talking about for ages now, how big of a change you're seeing the potential of this luck energy. You're seeing that it's coming. You're feeling it. We have that healing being lit up from the floor up here, guys. This is all about doing things in another way, taking that journey, just being curious when we're looking at our wounds. It is not any reason to point blame. We're all just doing the best that we can, as were our parents and grandparents. We're making do with what we've learned and what we've got. And we're seeing that, you know what if I'm curious to heal those rooted issues and not be taking action in the same way? You know what? When I focus on my heart, this is the situation when my heart is balanced with my head, I don't have to do this. I don't have to work myself into the ground, just to work, to live and die to work. And grandpa worked for a steel company. He was from a small town down south. I didn't know this until a couple years ago, but Hocking Hills used to be a coal miner's town. I had no idea. I've been there many, many times. Did walk through Old Man's Cave. Never have known that. Never have knowing that. Never having. Can't talk today. Mercury retrograde. Thanks. But wow. I mean, I can't even describe the palpable energy coming off this table today. Good gravy. Have confidence, guys. Wherever this 180 is, this is fortune's wheel turning in your favor. And I feel like you're going, it's about time, but divine timing, which is what Wheel of Fortune energy is all about. It happens when you happen. Just, I can't get over it. It happens when you happen. It's coming. Okay, I want to read this magician's sword energy to us. Again, a 37 turning into a 10, which breaks down to the one of the magician, which I was calling here. So I feel like that's like grandpa saying, slow and steady wins the race. Betting on the bay, bet my bunny on a bobtail nag, and somebody else bet on the fancy brown horse with the black mane. And here the old mare won. And it's again, long-term building facilitates long-term bounty, and especially when it's the energy of helping others. Okay, let's check it out. Thank you guys for hanging in here with me. Oof, can't even. Time to replenish. I'm chuckling here because the very first reading I ever did was on MJ's channel. And that reading, I talked about having a dream that I was at the bottom of this well and I saw myself, my own face, like my little face from when I was small, looking down on my adult self. That's when this all started, guys. Guess what a 16 is? Tower energy. Here we come. Adaptability. Yep. My grandma always said I was like a cat. I always land on my feet. And it's like, you know what? When is the time that we don't have to be resilient? Okay. So, confidence in your magic. Nothing can stop you. The beauty you seek. When the magician's sword appears, you're called to cut the cords that bind you to old thought forms and beliefs, or to friends who are not true. Well, we all know about that one. With the power of the magician's sword, nothing can stop you, hurt you, or turn you away from the beauty you seek or the goal you desire with all your heart. The sword is a tool, not a weapon, so make sure you wield it wisely for the greater good. Find the stuck places where you are kept tethered to a toxic person or a location or a faulty thought and belief, and let the blade do its magic. You have a large endowment of magic available to you when you believe in miracles. But don't look to the heavens to grant you a wish. Look within, and so you are. There's the beauty that you find, turning any kind of that pain that is rooted, even if it's not yours, even if it's ancestral, and surrendering to the journey for this enlightenment. Wow. Use the magician's sword to cut through limiting beliefs. And remember that all beliefs are limiting, and focusing your intention in order to create what you wish. You have all the tools you need for the task at hand. You need only to master the wherewithal to deploy the resources that you have. When the magician's sword appears, it is time to get moving. This is not a tool for contemplation, for gazing at the finely polished edge. It is an instrument calling for decisive action. And remember, the sword is alive with a wisdom you can summon to help you find the best course of action. Do not hesitate, act. You've done the work, guys. I know you're with me. Our ancestors are with us. And with this being the, what does Spirit want us to know today? Uh, thank you for the grace. This was surprisingly not easy this morning because it's so beautiful. I love you guys. Have an amazingly wonderful day. I would chat with you in the comments, but I got tears in my eyes, so it's a little hard to see. Wow, that's right. Thank you, Peggy. The universe removed the branch so you can rely on your own wings to fly. Just, I mean, what a beautiful message. I can't, guys, check out that song to Kashmir. I mean, it keeps coming for a reason. The love boat is back. We are healing those old wounds. Prince to the Pauper, rags to riches energy, and that bobtailed nag of the type of Manhattan. Yeah. And I even wrote down an un-FKG, so an unfreaking, we'll say that for purposes here, an unfreaking necessary removal is what happens when you bob a horse or a dog, and that's for aesthetics. So whoever, you know, was it, if you felt there was an unnecessary or nonsensical removal or practice, it was for your best and highest good, because this thing is better than that. This is way bigger, way bigger. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have an amazing day. I hope this reading has touched your heart like it has touched mine. And with that, our wish is ready to be granted. Bye bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye bye.